What you see happening as well is that there's new forms of hospitality exampled, if I may say that, forms of offices like WeWork spaces, even Regis is reinventing themselves. What's happening is that the customer is changing. The customers that we are facing today, and Jochem has been saying it also, are driving change. And they are, facility management all of a sudden is a word that you'll see, certainly in the years to come, you'll see that coming up more often. We're sitting in an office, we don't want to be bothered with whether there's internet or not, it just needs to work. You know, we don't want, and Keith is one of those guys who drives that as well, we don't want filter coffee anymore, we want proper coffee. You know, you go to the Starwood offices, there's a coffee counter around the corner there that is really very good. And that's what you want. That's what people want when they want to function. So you get a lot more blend, a lot more mixed use offices. WeWork now gets into the hotel space as well. Whether it works, I don't know, but at least they're trying it. But more combinations, retail, housing, apartments, extended stay, you know, it's all going to be blended into one. Not everywhere, but certainly in city centers, that is a trend that works. And also from an investment point of view, it creates new opportunities. We have to run our numbers differently. And perhaps it will be early adopters again that will drive that change from an investment point of view, because it doesn't really fit in any box. So private equity, there's an opportunity there, but that's a trend that just look around, just look outside, you'll see what's happening, and just look inside and you'll see that change is there.
But it's an interesting point, because we see it as well. You're essentially seeing a more efficient use of the real estate, where it's getting much more blended, right? There's a building where you're going to have in time a hotel operator that just does the rooms. There's a specialized F&B operator, because it is a different business from running a hotel. And you're seeing some co-sharing office space that really deals with the meeting element and the kind of corporate element. I mean, we already see that at some of the kind of smaller scale hostels that we're doing in Asia that have those three different components, right? So there's the management of the rooms, there's the management of the F&B, and then there's the co-sharing agreements with office providers, etc. So I think, you know, by that, you essentially create a more efficient use of the real estate by having specialized parties focusing on all the elements. So I think that's a trend that definitely is going to increase.
There's a hotel executive in the United States that has been in the hotel business. He's in his late 40s, maybe 50, for 25 years now, who just on Friday is going to go to WeWork.
Right.
You know, these things are all blending together. And
there's another thing as well. The hotel industry, where it was a very difficult asset class from a real estate point of view, now is a front runner for innovation. Mm-hmm. You know, hospitality, the very word itself, is something that in offices is become instrumental. You know, you need to be, you have hosts running around in these big office buildings nowadays, where there used to be a boring receptionist, you know, with a big security badge on and stuff, still there, but it's changing rapidly. And then, yes, the hotel industry is leading in innovation.
I'm actually sitting in a WeWork office myself, and most of the times I don't really realize when I go to work whether I walk into some kind of a boutique hotel or an office. So it's such a similar feeling.
I can just kind of reiterate that from the private equity side. Is definitely some of these, what Rick was mentioning, these mixed-use, multi-use projects or redevelopments on a larger scale, where you're incorporating a number of these different aspects, is definitely, you know, things that we're looking at right now in a number of markets. So we're definitely kind of on the hunt for those types of opportunities. And I agree with, in terms of efficiency, higher yield, more complex business plan in order to generate the kind of efficiency. And, you know, the importance of designing, branding, community-based, and local aspects. So there's a lot of granularity in there, and there's a lot for, you know, the whole capital stack to understand, including obviously the debt. And I would suspect as well that it probably starts with some of the earlier risk takers that are together with the creative industries and the creative entrepreneurs to put together some of these examples, and you know, hopefully most of them you get right, some of them you get wrong, obviously, and you learn as the industry moves along. And at some stage, the institutional capital will follow. So hopefully that's the case, and if so, it'll be fun.
Yep, exactly.